Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today is the 5th of September, and it is the Hamfest before Hamfest time. I guess that's what I'm going to call it, because, well, the song goes The Dark of the Moon on the 6th of June, but it'll be the 6th of September, and it's probably sunny. I think it's supposed to be cloudy tomorrow, but I will be attending the local Carp Hamfest. At least that's the plan. If I don't get up, then I guess I won't be doing it, but then you won't be seeing this video. But that's why I'm recording this now, because if I do have to get up and rush, I don't want to have to be recording this video when I'm in a rush. Because it just doesn't seem like a very good idea, a very good plan to me. So it takes about 30 minutes to get there, so I can leave here and will hopefully be leaving here at 8:30. So less than 12 hours from now. We'll see how that goes. I have a feeling that I'm going to be very tired tomorrow. But, you know, I can attend the Hamfest and then come back here and fall asleep in the afternoon. It really wouldn't be that big of a deal, because I don't have much else to do. Tomorrow it's just attending this Hamfest. Even though I don't really need any more junk, you've probably noticed there's junk everywhere, but, you know, it's not really the point of the video. People love to comment about it anyway, but it does need to be organized. It is kind of a disorganized pile of goodness only knows what, but that'll happen eventually when I stop being lazy. It'll happen, but I've got to get my rear end and the rest of me in this bed, and I gotta get some sleep. So I'm going to shut this off, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully not in a rush. This bathroom exhaust fan is like such a piece of crap. All it does is squeal. Of course, now that it's on video, it's stopped. But anyway, I'm sure I'll walk away and it'll start screeching again. It's just past 8 in the morning. So I've got about 30 minutes to get my ducks in a row. Quick weather check. It's not great out there. Oh, look at that. The trees have started changing colors. I don't know how I feel about that. It's still the beginning of September. But, it's not raining now. It certainly rained last night, even though it wasn't supposed to. In fact, we got a severe thunderstorm warning, of all things, just completely out of nowhere. Although nothing ever really came of it. It clearly rained, though. It's actually cool enough in here that the air conditioner is not running. So it's cool outside, so I guess I'm going to be wearing my sweater. The map was saying that it is going to take about 22 minutes, was the last thing that I saw, to get there. So hopefully that's accurate. I'm still going to leave at 8:30 because that gives me an 8-minute buffer, just in case there's a problem. And of course I want to get there on time. There'll probably be a lineup when I get there, because I'm getting there early. I don't think I've ever gotten there early. Usually I get there like right when it starts. But the problem is if you get there right when it starts, there's no parking. I'm hoping for a decent haul. I mean, not crazy or anything like that, because obviously, like I said earlier, I don't need more junk. But, you know, some projects would be nice. Before I continue with this video, I thought I would fill in a few things where I don't think I discussed in the actual video, but, well, one thing. That, the last time I made a Hamfest video, people complained that I didn't show the actual Hamfest, and I don't really profess to understand that particular complaint, because they take pictures, they post pictures, so I don't know why you need to see it in my video, because that's not the point of my video. My video is hey, there's a Hamfest, I went to the Hamfest, here's what I ended up getting, and here's what I ended up spending. But to appease the critics, I will go ahead and show some video footage of the Hamfest. Onwards and upwards. Somebody's shopping bag. Could give a temperature report. It's not bad, but it is a little on the chilly side. So I'm glad I have my jacket. That's for sure. There's crap all over because it was windy yesterday. That's probably where that thing came from. Yeah, I brought the whole kit because it seemed like it was easier to transport everything that I needed if I brought the whole thing, so okay. We're gonna get this set up. It's probably not going to work because nothing ever does. Here's that stupid camera. Hopefully it will actually power on. I guess we'll find out. But, yeah. Running a little bit later than I'd like. I think I mentioned that. But we are locked and loaded. Here we go. Check out that antenna. Huh. I'm sure they don't drive around with that thing. Telling you what, I have outdone myself. Wow. And I still have quite a bit of money left. Pretty good stuff. But now I gotta get out of here, and that might be the fun bit. So, get that out of the way and I'll sit on it. I will mention that even though I got a lot of stuff, I kind of struck out on making deals for things. I think every single one except for one. I initially jokingly made a $1 offer on a couple of boxes of floppies and got shot down, but I gave them 5 for those. I don't really think they're worth $5, but at the time I didn't have any change on me, so $5 was what it was going to be. And floppies are floppies at this point, really. You take what you can get. There was a $45, I think you saw it maybe in the walk around, $45 Panasonic radio. I wanted to offer 25, he wouldn't take it, he wouldn't go down from 45, it's not worth $45, no way, no how. There was that, what was that realistic DX392, I think, you might have seen it. The guy wanted 75, he would go down to 50, but, I mean, if I didn't already have like 1,000 radios and other things, it would have had to have been a screaming deal, and to me $50 is not a screaming deal, so I walked away from that. That was probably more me. I offered him 30, and he looked at me like I was from Mars, which is what I expected. Then there was one guy that had a couple of, I guess, worldwide radios. I don't know, they weren't brand names that I recognized. I asked him how much he wanted for it, and he said they weren't for sale. And it's like, what the hell? Why would you even put them on the table if they're not for sale? But, you know, world demands all types. But I gotta fix on getting out of here and going through all this junk and figuring out the haves and have-nots. Alright, here we are back again on this extremely dreary day. Like, I don't know if it's going to come through on the video just how dreary it is. We were supposed to get peaks of sun. Like, it was supposed to be a mix of sun and cloud. No, not really. It's just been cloudy all day. Hasn't rained, despite what it looks like. I think that's all still from yesterday. It might look like the sun is peeking through if you look at that tree, but that's just leaves changing color, which, again, I'm a little shocked they're doing that already, because it's not even the end of September. I think this is the earliest I've ever seen leaves change color, but anyway, here we are with all this stuff. And it's a lot more than I thought I was going to get, and I'm in it for a lot less than I thought I was going to spend. Anyway, what I can tell you is that we're going to look at all this stuff. And some of it I hope is good. Some of it might be a little boring, especially here. There's a lot of AM radio stuff, and really just AM radio is not a thing around here. So let me unbox all this and we'll take a look at it with a real camera, not with this thing. Alright, let's take a look here at what we've got. Well, first thing here, wasn't the first thing that I got, but it is the first thing we're going to show in this video, is a Sony CD changer, 5-disc, CDP-C705, which I wouldn't have even cared about if it weren't for the fact that this has the CD file functionality, and I think this has a little bit more than what the last unit that I had with this capability had, because I think that it's also got, like, it can store audio levels and things like that, which is kind of a neat feature that I'll probably never use for really anything. I was told that it works, except for the fact that the tray sometimes does not eject properly, or it will eject, but it goes all the way back in because the switches that detect and tell the microcontroller when the tray is open are dirty, so I'll have to fix that, but that's not a big deal. $10 for that. I contemplated giving or offering 5 because, I mean, really that's all it's probably worth, but let's face it, you walk into a thrift store this day and age and they're going to be charging $40, $50, $60, $70 plus for something like this now. So $10 isn't really that bad of a deal. A couple of entries from the free pile, although I did end up giving the guy that was selling, I guess you could say, these. I did give him $2 towards his retirement fund because, well, I'm not a dick, so at least not that kind of dick. So anyway, this, I don't really know what this is supposed to be. it looks like it's been modified, and maybe not properly. That I guess it used to be like a USB 2.0, either a hard drive or something similar that someone has stuffed a 7-port USB 3.0 hub into. That's actually probably useful. I suppose if I could open this thing up and replace that with an actual 3.0 cable, that would be kind of nice. And if it works, because, I mean, who knows, really. And then this, which I probably just broke by dropping it there. A Hewlett-Packard CD-ROM drive. Well, actually, it's a Panasonic CDR583B that was made to Hewlett-Packard standards, whatever that means. Just a generic IDE optical drive, but again, these are not getting any more common. Is it a burner or is it just a CD-ROM? Yeah, it's just a CD-ROM, which is fine for most of the applications I'd ever have for something like that anyway, but I figure that probably wasn't bad, even for $1, effectively. That's not that bad. You know, yes, you can get systems with that for free, but at the heart of it all, who really cares? This might be a little bit of a steal, if it works. A Seagate Skyhawk 4TB hard drive for $40. Yeah, you want to buy one of those brand new. I still think they're about 150 or 160. In fact, I should look and see just how much a brand new one would cost. Because if I remember right, even the 2 terabytes are still like almost $100. So that's a good deal on that. Also from the free pile, to a good or bad home. I told the guy that we'll see what kind of home this is, good or bad. This is a little tape recorder. Not sure who made it. I'm going to wreck the sticker. I'm going to leave it there. Oh, Sears. So whoever OEM'd it for Sears. Simpson Sears. It's old enough that it still says that on it. There's the model number and the chassis number if you want to go ahead and look that up. DC 6-volt inputs. I hope to hell there's no batteries in this. Okay, good, there isn't. It takes C-cell batteries, so, you know, standard stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary there, so I could probably find some of those and give this thing some use, see if it works. It probably needs belts, I imagine that's what's wrong with it. So it's going to have to come apart. Hopefully it's easy enough to do that. From the same guy, I ended up buying this for $5. It's probably not worth that, but a little AM/FM stereo mate, like a Walkman style thing. Again, I really hope to hell there's no batteries in this. Nope. It takes just AAAs. I'll probably actually test that, see if it works. So, $5 for this as well. A Zenith Royal 710 all transistor radio. I didn't think to look and see what kind of batteries it takes, so I bet it's an AB setup, and I won't be able to test it. No, it looks like this takes standard batteries. Unrestored, from what I can tell, unless this is a modification. I can't even get it out of here. There it is. I didn't even see this little thing on the end. This is baked. Like, look at how baked that is. So this thing's been used in its time. Insert batteries in compartment as illustrated. It doesn't really say what kind of batteries they are, but it looks like those are C-cells. So again, pretty standard stuff. There's the chassis number. Printed in the USA. Yeah, it doesn't say what kind of batteries those are, but again, I'm going to take just a total stab in the dark. I take a guess that those are probably C-cell batteries. I don't want to break it because it's in such good condition. Which again is one of the reasons why I picked it up pretty much sight unseen. It's in such good shape. So that'll make a nice video. And there's this, which maybe I shouldn't have given $20 for. This is probably the one thing I might regret not making an offer, but It is a Blaupunkt radio. I think I've seen this before because I know that the vendor that was selling this has been at a lot of local Hamfests. I think pretty much all the local ones I've been to. The antenna's a little bent, but that's fine. Could use a little bit of a cleaning, but, you know, again, not bad. I think that's the only thing that's in there. There's that coin I was looking for. Remember, it's in there. Now, this. We'll get to that in a moment. But, I picked these up from a guy. I jokingly offered him $1, knowing full well he wouldn't accept it. He didn't. So I gave $5 for this. Both of these packs. So these, what I was told is, as far as he knows, they've never been used. And there's a couple of discs still in here. I don't think they're the same discs, but it's mostly just labels. But I figured, even for $5, in fact, I didn't even realize before getting these, or before looking at this right now, that these are formatted for the Macintosh. Again, you kind of just don't see those. So that's interesting. They probably aren't anymore. Like, they're probably PC formatted now. Might be interesting to check on that. But let me get this all out, because this is quite the steal. This is probably the find of the year. I haven't even been to Peoria yet, and I can already tell you I probably won't be topping this. There's an entire box of floppies. Some of these completely sealed. Others used. You know, it says what it is on it. But that's not the big deal here. The big deal is this. So I have this mouse. It's just some A-open mouse, who cares? I have a power adapter for an IBM laptop. I have some floppy diskettes here. Looks like that's from 2000. That's pretty neat. Not really going to go through these on this video. By WordPerfect. You know, some data diskettes. The manual for a 770 series ThinkPad and a 770 series ThinkPad. Watch what you see when I open this. Look at this. $2 for a 770E that I believe is complete. I already have a 770E. I got one at Peoria in like 2019, but it was missing pretty much all the parts. I think that one works as well, but it's been sitting in my closet ever since then, so I have no idea if that still holds true, and I'm not going to hang on to it anyway. No, it's not going to get sold through YouTube, so don't even ask. Somebody will ask anyway. The interesting bit, I don't want to give away too much, but he said that he charged the battery, and the battery held a charge. And it does. It still works. 164 megabytes of RAM, apparently. It's running Windows 2000. Alright, I'm going to stop the video because I don't want to give away too much. Okay, here's the interesting part of this. I will admit I misread that right there. I thought that said $1 for a box as opposed to $1 for the box. It's a big difference. So I was prepared, because at the time I didn't have any change on me, at least certainly not enough change to give $2 and $1. I said, okay, I'll give you $5 for the laptop and 3 boxes of those floppies. I'm really glad that he didn't take that. I mean, even at $5, that would have been quite the deal, but I got both pieces for $2. $2 got me both. All those floppies and this laptop with the power adapter and the mouse and these floppies. don't think I did too bad. Alright, so that covers my finds at the, I almost said Peoria, Ottawa area Hamfest, the OARC Hamfest, the Carp Hamfest, whatever you want to call it, really, including the deal of the year right over there. Again, there were other things that I would have liked to get. This is a pretty decent haul. You know, other things, a couple more radios, but like the sellers, like I said, the sellers weren't really willing to entertain the kind of offers that I'm going to make. And okay, I'm gonna say right now, the DX392, I think is what the model was. It was a cassette player plus a radio. They're nice. Like, I mean, I have a DX395 up there in the box. But they're very nice, and again, the guy's right. You can get over $100 for them if you sell them on eBay, but like, why not just sell it on eBay if you want that kind of money? And like $75, $50 was his final offer to me, but even $75 is a pretty good deal for something like that. But again, I have too many radios, so it would have had to have been an absolutely screaming deal, which is why I said 30 was going to be about my cutoff. And in the end, that really wasn't enough, and I don't feel too bad about that. So I have all this stuff. It's certainly going to make some nice videos in the future. When I get to any of it, I don't know. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have my lunch, and then I might just go to bed because I'm tired. And I don't know that these camera glasses are going to last too much longer. I know the battery died on me once already. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I will catch you on the next video. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below.